Okay, let's talk about the guy who shows up after you guys have broken up, all pitiful, and he has an agenda. So let's talk about what those possibilities are. Okay, so let's set up the scenario because there's two kind of breakups. There's the kind where you break up with him, and there's the kind where he breaks up with you. In this situation, we're gonna say that he broke up with you, right? Because something about you wasn't working. You wanted too much. The communication was off. He met somebody else. Whatever it was, he decided that the relationship wasn't gonna work. So either he overtly broke it off, like just straight told you, this ain't working for me. I'm out. Or he behaved in such an obnoxious, stupid ass way that you, being a woman of high intelligence, deserve to be treated better. You knew you deserved to be treated better, and that's what you told him as you gave him the boot. But either way, he put the dynamic in motion for the relationship to be over. So here it is, a month, 2 months down the road, 6 months, whatever. Suddenly, he starts texting you. He starts calling you. What you doing? Oh, I just wanted to see how you were being, how you were. I'm just kind of checking up on you. And then the drama starts. Now this is where the game gets interesting because either he says he's usually what they start doing is reminiscing. That's how it sets up. Because if you notice the pattern in every single one of these things that I'm telling you, they all begin with him getting control of your emotions. And they always say that, women are so emotional creatures. Okay, but that's something to be cherished. That's not something to use against them in a war and battle. But that's what happens. So you guys got to stop being so soft-hearted about these guys and just be more of a bitch. Because this once they get in your head and they start getting into a position where they can manipulate how you feel with their words, it's over for you. So you got to toughen up. So in this case, what they do is they get on the phone, right? And you kind of miss them. I mean, even if you did have to kick them to the curb, that doesn't mean that you don't still miss them. I mean, you don't just shut your heart off, just like a light switch. It takes time to get over a relationship. And the longer that you were in it, the longer it takes to get over it. So here you are, of course you still miss him, you still think about him, you wish things had been different, you wish he had acted right, you wish whatever situation occurred hadn't occurred so you guys would still be together. Everybody goes through that phase. But what he does is call you or text you, hi, how you doing? Oh, I just wanted to see how you was doing. So see, if he texts and you respond positively, then he's going to want to get together. He's going to want to see you or talk on the phone. So then the ante is up. So now you're on the phone, right? Oh, I was just thinking about when we used to blah, blah, blah. And it might be something fun and, rather PG, but usually they just go right into the sexual part. They start talking about something about your body that they liked or something to sex that they liked. Or remember that time we did this and remember that time we did that. So see, what they're doing is getting your mind and your emotions into the past when things between you guys were really good. You see how that works? It's like they're leading you like a Pied Piper to your death and doom, just like he did the little rats. He's leading you with this beautiful sounding music, and then most women not staying tuned into what's really happening start going into fantasy land like, oh, he's calling because he must want to get back together. You guys fall for it every single freaking time. That's not why he's calling. He's calling to see if he's been replaced. That's what he's calling to see. He's calling to see how you're doing without him, how you feel, if you're missing him as much as he misses you, or if maybe he's not missing you, but he just wants to see if you miss him. This call is about an ego and it's about opportunity. And what he's doing is testing you to see if there's an opportunity for him to slide through and tap that ass. That's what it says. It's all about that. And so it could be, maybe he would left you and he did have somebody else, but it didn't work out. Maybe he's still with that person, but that doesn't mean that he's not getting sex because he's calling you. It could just very well mean that he's not getting something that you did that he liked. the way that you did it. So he misses that thing. He misses that aspect of sex with you. That does not mean he misses you. And it does not mean he wants to have a relationship with you and pick up where you guys left off. So many women fall into that trap. I can't even tell you. And it's, like the ladies, young ladies being like, well, it seemed like, well, he led me to believe, well, he made me think, and I thought, and, he did all the stuff that we used to do so I assume, but the bottom line is if he didn't say those words, then you jump into conclusions about the fact that he want to come over and screw you, or even just take you on a date and spend time with you. You don't think that that means anything more than what it is right there in that moment. Don't project into the future. And if you really don't want to be bothered, then don't. Because the only reason they do stay in touch, texting and calling and trying to see how you are or to see you after a breakup is because you let them do it. Otherwise, you would like, you know what I mean? Put his voice calls to voicemail, all his texts to junk mail or whatever, block them, whatever. I mean, there's all kind of capabilities with these cell phone companies these days. So if you don't want him to get in touch with you, he won't be able to. You just have to decide if that's what you want to have happen. So, and I admit there are times when, the guys really do miss you and you really do get back together, but I caution you to think about that, especially if he acted stupid, or, he was the one that broke up. If you get back together with him based on all these romantic phone calls and these flashbacks to the past where you thinking about the days when everything was good, but you think about now, what's different? What in the world has changed that's going to be different this time right now than was different before when you guys broke up? And that is the thing I think a lot of young women also don't think about. You hated how he acted. You hated how he talked to you. You hated how he cheated and ran around and didn't follow through and whatever else happened that made you decide that he was stupid and you didn't want to be bothered. Those things are still there. And the same thing about him, if you haven't changed, why go back to a situation that you both know is going to ultimately go down in flames all over again? What's the point? Just find somebody new. Unless you really have changed, but that's very rare. Most people are what they are, and what you see is what you get. But you got to think about it. This guy starts reminiscing and about the good old days, and he's trying to find out if you got a new man. He's trying to find out if he's been replaced. He's trying to find out if you've been going out having fun or if you've been in bed crying all the time and eating gallons of Ben and Jerry's. He wants to hear it, how sorry you are, how much you miss him, how you wish you two could get back together. That's what he wants to hear. That's why he's calling. And if you start crying and saying that you love him and all this old stuff and that you're just so lonely without him, his head gets just about as big as the moon. And, that's what he loves. And that's what his goal is, to keep in contact with you, continue to keep you focused on him. And so by calling every so often and bringing up these things that were good, you don't move forward. And that is his whole intent. He doesn't want you to move forward. He wants to keep that door open to your bedroom and your heart and your mind as long as he can, so that you are off the market worrying about him and where he is and what he's doing versus getting out there and getting somebody new that's going to love you the way that you want them to. Please be aware of the game. It's bullshit, straight up bullshit. But it's very common, happens all the time. And, that he just wants to keep the door open. I can't make it any clearer. Keeping that door open through use of memories and feelings associated with certain memories. It is a completely common psychological tool that people use. Even they use when they torture prisoners of war. They do that. They get them to thinking about their family and stuff. It just breaks people down emotionally when all their barriers go down, when you start getting them in their feelings about something that they really loved or really cared about or had a good time with or something like that. It's very, very typical game. So my name is Deborah Cooper. I'm an advice columnist and social researcher on survivingdating.com. I hope that you learned something valuable from this video, and be on the lookout for guys calling you, texting you that you already broke up with. Be very leery about, falling into that trap of being their backup booty, because that's all you would be with is, some backup booty for him when nights are cold and he's feeling lonely and doesn't have anybody else to sleep with. He'll slide back into your life and screw around with you for a week or two and then be right back out. Don't do that to yourself. So we'll be back in another day or so with some more information for you. In the meantime, you guys go out and make me proud. I'll talk to you later.
And made out of plans. But I bet you didn't think that they would come crashing down. No, you don't have to say what you did. I already know. I found it from her. Now there's just no chance for you and me. There'll never be. And don't it make you sad about it? You told me you love me. Why did you leave me all alone? Now you tell me you need me when you call me on the phone. Boy, I refuse. You must have me confused with some other girl. Your bridges were burned, and now it's your turn to cry. Cry me a river.